Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe, and I think many of you know that I have three beautiful grandchildren. I have Jack, 16, who's in Scotland, and then Max and Marvel, Max is 8, Marvel is 6, and they live here in the same town as me. So I see them quite often, and actually now that Max has got an Apple Watch, he gets to speak to me on his watch and calls me in the morning sometimes, and we have conversations. And usually they're about, what he's going to do that day at school, or what he did the day before, friends' activities, what kind of classes he's taking. But this morning we were talking about dreams, and it was so interesting because I felt like I've got this better understanding of Max, and also a better understanding of dreams, because I still think that children should be running the world in terms of how to organize and how to deal with challenges, because they just net it out. They bring it down to the most basic level, and that's how they operate. But in terms of dreams, let me tell you what Max said, because if you have a bad dream, this might help you. And I know that it's definitely useful in my situation too. So he basically said last night he had a dream about monsters. And the first thing that he did, anything that scares you or challenges you or makes you feel uncomfortable is that monster, right? And he said the first thing is to say, you don't belong here. This is not the real world. And as soon as you say that, it neutralizes whatever the danger is. When you speak to it and you say, you don't belong here. This is my house. You're not welcome. And then as soon as you say that, it kind of freezes them. And then while you've got them in that state of suspension, you can then do whatever you need to do to get rid of them, to destroy them. And it can be any image that you choose as a method of destruction. Now, Max and Marvel, of course, and all children under any age this time are actually playing games like Minecraft and other ones where there's weapons and fighting, and it's kind of a normal processing method for them to get rid of things. But that's it. You first of all neutralize it. You say, go away. This is not reality. This is my world, not yours. And then you do something to get rid of them. And you do it with courage and bravery. Now, it was interesting because Max and I chatted about this, that, when we talked about dreams in the past, it was always like, I'm afraid of that thing. And maybe you have a dream like that where you're afraid of something genuinely, like it's scary. And then, but saying to yourself, it's not in my reality, that doesn't exist, is like a really powerful way to move from fear to being in control. So being scared and really terrified in a dream to being in control of the dream. Anyway, I mentioned to him that this is called lucid dreaming. And for those of you who know about lucid dreaming, this is the technique that people use in meditation to calm the mind, so that when you do have a dream that is frightening, you can actually then get inside it and navigate it and move it around and stop it. You can control the environment. You can be inside your dream, which is a technique that a lot of people use. And I mentioned it's called lucid dreaming. So Max is 8. He's figured it out. Max and Marvel are both amazing young children. Their knowledge and education ability is frightening, in the sense that they really ask questions. They're curious. They're so beautiful, and they're so interesting. And Max and I have a little relationship that's very solid and very strong. And I trust him that I'm happy that he trusts me with that kind of information. That's his personal dreams and things on his mind. Because dreams are always a reflection, aren't they, of things that we're dealing with in life, in the real world. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you, because I actually said to Max, I'm going to tell my 60andMe people about this, because you've given us a little technique to use when you have a bad dream. Neutralize it by saying, you don't belong here, this is not the real world, and then doing something to remove them. Even if it's just to wave a magic wand and dissolve them, you can choose the method. I think it's great. Anyway, hope that you're doing great, everybody. If you've got an interesting story about dreams and how you deal with them, leave them in the comments below so we can kind of learn from each other and how you deal with dreams, what you do. And thanks, Max, for giving me this idea and this conversation. And Marvel, too, you're amazing as well. And you're going to give me lots of dreams when you get a little older and we can talk on the phone. You haven't got your Apple Watch yet. Max has got a watch. It's so handy. We can chat. But anyway, love them both. Love you all. Take care. Have a wonderful day. And leave your comments below on dreams. What do you think about Max's strategy?